We've talked about Dubai. We've talked about Saudi Arabia. We've talked about Apple potentially buying Manchester United. Today, we focus on reports linking Amazon with a move to buying the Glazers out and becoming Manchester United's new owners. What I'm going to do in this video is bring you completely up to date with everything. Where the story is coming from Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic. We'll run through that. But also, I'll run through the net worth of Amazon, where Amazon's investments have been in and around the sports and content area for a good amount of years, how that investment is increasing, why they want to buy Manchester United, and the hurdles that they would face. Sort of a video to bring you bang up to date with everything to do with Amazon and whether or not they can buy Manchester United. So please, if you would, by the end of it, if you do learn something, drop a like on the video. It does really help the channel. But let's dive straight into this one. And make sure you subscribe if you're new as well. I've got some serious giveaways coming up, so you want to be involved in that. It is Christmas after all. The tree's still there. But the story itself came off the back of this from Laurie Whitwell and an in-depth sort of what we know about the Glazer sale from The Athletic. And inside this article, there was this little snippet here. And this is what it said. Amazon has been mooted as a possibility by some close to the talks. The company has a sleeve shirt sponsorship with Napoli and also holds broadcast rights to Premier League matches. A spokesperson said Amazon declined to comment on rumour and speculation. Now, Amazon is not the first big company whose name is getting thrown in the hat, but it's where we're going to be focusing on today. And for a lot of people, the idea of Amazon buying Manchester United is something that will tick a lot of boxes for you. Certainly when it comes to money, because Amazon is huge. Jeff Bezos, his wealth is huge, tied in completely to the wealth of Amazon. But his personal wealth here is in excess of $100 billion. And if I'm correct, quite a lot of that is actually tied up into Amazon stocks. So you'll see a lot of Jeff Bezos's net worth rise and fall according to how Amazon is doing as a company. In terms of revenue, I mean, look, going back to this from Laurie Whitwell, the Glazers looking for in the region of £6 to £7 billion. I don't think they're going to be getting that price, but that's what they want. Well, let's take a quick look at the revenues of Amazon. 2050, 100 billion. 2015, where are we? 2020, rising to 386 billion over the coronavirus. Look how much they grew. It's ridiculous. In excess of 500 billion. Yes, I know that revenues are not profit. I don't really think it matters when you're looking at revenues in excess of 500 billion, given the price tag is somewhere in the region of 5 to 7 billion. Yes, Amazon could afford Manchester United. No, finances would not be a problem. And it's when you dive a little bit further and you do a little bit of research into Amazon, where they've invested in the sports market, you kind of understand what it is they're trying to do. Now, you remember I spoke about Apple buying Manchester United, and I felt there would have been a focus on the members of Manchester United, the in excess of 1 billion fans around the world. I thought that was where Apple, and the concept of it made most sense. Now, of course, Apple have their own content arm, but for me, it's content where that would be why Amazon would be interested in buying Manchester United. They've invested heavily in terms of content, in terms of Premier League content as well. This is going back to 2018 when we first saw Amazon breaking that sort of stranglehold of Sky and BT on Premier League deals. They got 20 live stream matches per year from 2019. And on top of that, we saw this earlier in 2002, that Amazon are getting close now to also streaming some of the Champions League and taking that away from BT. Now, it's not just in the Premier League and it's not just with England where Amazon has been invested when it comes to football. They've got TV rights for the Champions League out in the Bundesliga. Prime Video to exclusively show 17 matches live for 3 years from the 2024-25 season. Amazon has been investing in terms of broadcasting rights for quite some time, kind of going up there to compete with Sky and compete with BT. And on top of that, and this is where I think the focus of this video should be in terms of why Amazon would want to buy Manchester United, it's about content. Content has been king for Amazon for a good long time. You've obviously seen the All or Nothing series. They've done Arsenal, they've done Spurs, they've done City, but it's not just there. It started out with the NFL. I'm actually watching it right now, Arizona Cardinals, Carolina Panthers, Philadelphia Eagles, LA Rams, All Blacks, Arizona Cardinals, Brazil national team. They have invested big amounts of money into this whole All or Nothing series, NFL, football, the works. And it's not just with football content where Amazon has been investing massively. Look, I'm going to pull up the example of the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power show, because they spent over $700 million on one TV series, which, let's be honest, that's in excess of 5 million annual Prime subscriptions. That's how much they've invested in that. In 2021, they spent $13 billion on film, TV, and music content. And if you take a look at how that graph is growing here, 13 billion in 2021 is forecast to rise to 16 billion in 2022, and then forecast to rise another 4 billion to $20 billion being spent on video and music in 2023. Amazon are going big. Prime Video is one of their centerpieces, isn't it? And they want as much content as possible. Now, when it comes to Manchester United, well, the content sort of writes itself. They wouldn't buy the club just to simply do an all or nothing series, obviously. But they've definitely invested in sort of in and around the football space is what I'm trying to get at. And of course, when you're talking about these budgets, the idea that they've secured a €2 million sleeve shirt sponsorship, gee, that's a hard thing to say, of Napoli, kind of paltry by comparison. But that was their sort of first dive into it, in terms of direct sponsorship. Herein lies the issue, though. When it comes to Jeff Bezos, when it comes to Amazon and buying Manchester United, the older United fans would, of course, remember what happened back in, what was it, 99, when it was Sky and it was Rupert Murdoch trying to buy Manchester United, and why it got blocked. So they tried to buy United in our treble-winning season for a bid. Look, £623 million bid got blocked by the Department of Trade and Industry because the Monopolies and Mergers Commission did a report, and they said this: the MMC's findings are based mainly on competition grounds, where they concluded that the merger would adversely affect competition between broadcasters. But they also examined wider public interest issues, concluding that the merger would damage the quality of British football. And I accept these findings, and that is why Sky's attempt to buy Manchester United was blocked. Now, why would that be any different now? It is a question that I don't particularly have an answer to, because I'm not sure it would be any different now. If that was the reason why Sky weren't able to buy Manchester United back in 99, what would have changed between 99 and 2022 that would stop Sky or BT, or it's the same thing. Imagine Sky came forward and tried to buy Manchester United again, or BT came forward and tried to buy Manchester United again. It's the exact same conversation that we would be having here about Amazon buying Manchester United. And if it got blocked in 99, I'm not sure how it changes. Of course, things have changed in the Premier League since then. Chelsea, they got Roman Abramovich back in 2005, was it? And we know what happened there. City, we now know that they're owned by Abu Dhabi. Spurs, well, they're skin anyway. Arsenal got American owners. Liverpool have American owners, and they will probably get some new American owners soon as well. There's no doubt that the money inside football has changed, right? State ownership, Saudi Arabia with Newcastle, Abu Dhabi with City, Qatar with PSG. But at the same time, as I've done a video on Dubai ownership and the ideas and the pros and cons of it and the hurdles that they would face. I've done a video on Saudi Arabia, same thing. Done a video on Apple, same thing. You'd have to have the same conversation then about Amazon. And let's be honest, it's not as if Amazon, look, they've got an entire page here on Wikipedia. I don't need to go into the ins and outs of it, because it would be way too long in terms of Amazon's controversy, things they've been involved in, and problems that people have with the company, which, as I showed earlier, whose revenues are in excess of $500 billion. When you get to that scale, you are going to be coming into criticism, and Amazon fairly so. So in the same idea that I thought it fair to do a video on the idea of Dubai by Manchester United and the concerns that we would have, there are criticisms to be aimed at Amazon. Hey, it's almost as if you can't really become that big in this world without standing on people. It's capitalism, right? That's what it is. It's not me shrugging my shoulders and saying, I'll just accept it. But it's going to be very difficult for Manchester United to get a perfect owner. There will be issues with every single one, whether that's Amazon, Dubai, Apple, Jim Ratcliffe, anybody. There will be issues that people have with them. It's just that now we're having a conversation about Amazon. So for me, I think this is the biggest question mark and hurdle. If that blocked a merger back in '99 from Sky to buy Manchester United, why would it be any different now? I'd love you to let me know in the comments below what you think about that. That for me is the biggest hurdle. There's no doubt that they've got the money. There's no doubt that they have invested heavily, as I said, in terms of content. They've been, in terms of broadcasting, yes, they've invested heavily. And in terms of content as well, on top of that, they are investing heavily, not just in sport, but in general. Their budgets are huge. The idea of buying Manchester United, Amazon, Old Trafford, I'm sure there's a whole different sphere of reasons why they would be excited about the idea of it. But what do you think? Do you think this is just another name getting linked to it? As I said, this is coming off the back of a comment from Laurie Whitwell where Amazon are being mooted as a possibility. That doesn't mean they're coming forward. In fact, they're just staying quiet, as you would expect. Do you expect Amazon to really come forward with a bid and follow through on this? Or is this just going to be another one of those just conversations that we have that doesn't lead to anything? You let me know what you think in the comments below. I've sort of had my say on it and tried to present as many facts as possible. And as I said, that merger, the monopolies and merger back in '99, they stopped it then with Sky. What would be different to now? Let me know what you think in the comments.